Good morning. March 28th, 2017. Driving into the bright sunshine. My goodness. Now, it's still extremely cloudy behind me, but it is bright and sunny up ahead. You can see the line in the clouds where it stops. The fortunate part is, as we get later in the spring and closer to the summertime, the sun is higher in the sky as I'm driving in, and it's not right in front of my face. So that's a plus. That's a plus. Looking for the positive things here. Yesterday, on my way in, I mentioned that I felt like I was forgetting something. Well, I figured out what that was right as soon as I got to school, of course. And it was my water bottles. I usually have 2 water bottles on my desk, or at least nearby, so I can stay hydrated throughout the day. And I did not have those yesterday. So I had to settle for a solo cup and keep refilling it. And I usually take my water bottle to lunch to have something to drink. But didn't have that option either. My goodness, the drastic difference between the sunshine in front of me and the clouds behind me. We did get a fair amount of rain last night, so my grass got watered pretty well. So I hope it grows up nice and thick and lush this season, so that I have a pretty beautiful yard to work with. This morning, as I was getting ready, I saw a handprint on my mirror. And that handprint belonged to my daughter. Actually, I saw it last night, but I noted it this morning. Made a comment to my wife, and I said, "Hey, there's a little baby handprint on the mirror." And she goes, No. There's a toddler handprint on the mirror. And she's right. Our baby is now a toddler. I typically reserve the word toddler for a child that's at least 2 years old, like 2 to 3. But I guess technically she is toddling. She is walking. However unbalanced she may be, she is walking. We honestly probably need to start putting her shoes on her more often, because she does a lot of sock and barefoot walking. Probably isn't the best for her growing bones and feet and stuff, but we'll get there. But I saw that handprint and I was like, man, I never want to wash this mirror again. And this is my first kid. Remind you, I've not had a kid like grow up and leave the house and had the opportunity to be sentimental. Like I said yesterday, I am a nostalgic, sentimental person. But she is growing nonetheless, and I realize that she is not going to be little forever. And we have had the conversations of when do we have our next kid, because we know we absolutely want one. So it's not like this is the only child we're ever going to have in our lives. At least not the way we planned it. But I saw a handprint and I was like, I don't want to wash this mirror ever again. I want to have that little handprint there all the time. It's cute. It's fun. It reminds me that person did exist. And they were little. And they were, wanted to be held up to the mirror and play with herself and look at herself in the mirror. The baby loves, the toddler loves to look in the mirror and smile at herself. She loves to press her face up against it, hit it with her hand and stuff. She just has a good time with her reflection. Great. That being said, I'm reminded of the song from the Disney movie Mulan. It's one of the opening songs, one of the earliest songs in the movie, called Reflection. And in the song, Mulan is wrestling with, do I become the person my family wants to be? Do I become the person that I want to be? Who is that person? And one of the lines in the song is, when will my reflection show who I am inside? Because obviously our reflections show our pictures on the outside. They show who we are as we appear to other people, physically. But obviously there's a whole lot more behind that. There's our spiritual side, our mental state, our emotions that we may be suppressing below the surface. And just that little line from that song kind of makes me think not only about my daughter, my child, who's going to grow up to be an independent person that has thoughts and feelings and wants to live for herself. How do I foster that growth as a parent, but also for my students, also for my community? How do I be a person that not only reflects the type of person that I am, but also brings out the best in others and makes them feel comfortable enough to share who they really are and not just the physical image that they portray. The makeup, the hairstyles, the clothing, the stuff that's all surface level, but rather to expose the inner workings of a person's body and mind and heart. And that's a tough question. That's a hard thing to do. You have to be around and with and working together with a person for a long time before you open up to them and feel like sharing, your actual innermost thoughts and feelings. It's not something that I find easy to do, that's for sure. I'm still sharing things with my wife that, we've been married for 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years. Well, we've been a couple for about 6.5 years. And there are still things that we're sharing with one another that we didn't know before, some things that we're finding out. On Sunday at church, we had a potluck after service, and Mary Jane was sitting at the table with Ellie, and I went to go fill the plates, and I had 2 plates. And obviously at potluck, there's a huge spread of things. It's not like all one type of food. But she said, oh, just fill my plate with whatever. And there was one dish, it had like rice and refried beans. It was like a Spanish rice and refried bean casserole. And I knew that Mary Jane didn't like refried beans, but the rice looked good. It looked like something she would enjoy. When we go out to Mexican restaurants, she enjoys the rice. So I got a couple spoonfuls of that for her, or I put it on a plate. And my mindset was, we're going to share these 2 plates. I wasn't making my plate and her plate. I was making 2 plates with food that we would both eat off of. And she got the plate, and it was the one that I happened to set in front of her. And she goes, is this refried beans? I said, yeah. And she goes, you don't know me at all. And I was like, oh, I do. I mean, I knew in my head that wasn't something she was going to eat, but I thought she might like the rice and the other things that were on the plates. So, we're still learning things. That was something that I did know, but it just kind of drives home the point that we are still learning things. There are plenty of things that I don't know about her, or at least in great detail. We're still sharing, and I think there are couples that have been together for 25, 30, maybe 50 years that still are sharing things with one another. It's easier when you get together at a younger age because there's not as much backstory. I have no idea how married couples who get married in their 40s and 50s do it, because there's so much to learn. How can you truly feel like you're connected with a person when you've missed over half of their life? But that being said, we really don't know how long anyone's life truly is. So that was kind of morbid. Main idea here today is, don't be scared to share what's beyond your reflection. My daughter left an imprint on my mirror that reminds me of some personality traits that go beyond just what we saw in the mirror. That little handprint on the mirror reminds me that she is fun-loving. She enjoys making faces and being giggly and happy and playing around in that concept. So it's not just the physical reminder of the hand, but what went into making the handprint. And so I think that's what we need to share as people, is to be more connected with ourselves. First of all, you need to identify in yourself who you truly are and make that connection, and then not be scared to share that with the people that you're closest to, and then eventually some more people, and eventually some more people. And I think if we got that together, we got that figured out, we'd have less problems as a society. I mean, here in America, we've got some problems. We don't get along. Americans are all very much take me for what you see is what you get. And I don't think that's a way to live. I would much rather form bonds and connections and enjoy being around people and not just tolerate them. So let's work on that today. Let's work on enjoyment and relationships and not just tolerance. Okay? Okay. That's all I've got for you this morning, and I will try to come up with something else to say this afternoon. See you later.